Hello, hello, hello. It must be Tuesday night, for I'm here. I don't know, maybe you're there. Maybe you're not. Good thing is no one's watching. It's just me on my own at the moment, so it's that dead air you've got to feel. Oh, God, very cold. It was very, very cold. You know, very cold out there. Yeah, very cold. It's one of those things where your sinuses hurt. I didn't go for a long walk tonight. I went for a shorter walk because it's too damn cold. Blimey, Rennie's out of the gate. He's running in. The watermelon is here. He couldn't contain his enthusiasm. Oh, crikey, I'm just trying to warm myself up. It was the icy blast. It wasn't the temperature so much, but more the wind chill. It was like, brr. Andrew's in. He says, "I wasn't sure you were on tonight, but I'm here." Well, of course I'm on. You're lucky. You're lucky that I've put the chat on. I was going to do the whole thing without any chat after last week's debacle when no one wanted to talk. Oh, crikey! And so no, we're here to see what happens, see what floats, see what doesn't. If not, I'll just read the Daily Mail website and have fun. I'll just do that. There's loads of things. Oh, there's loads of things to talk about. I think. I don't know. There might be. Hey, hot beverage. I need that. Thank you. Oh, brr. Let me warm my hands. Oh yeah, brr. But yeah, it is a bit fresh. A bit fresh. Apparently, there's only one viewer, according to the. It's only one viewer. That can't be right. Can that be right? There's only one viewer? No. If Renee and Andrew's in, there's got to be more viewers than that. Oh no, it's 4 viewers now. We've had a spike. And Renee had snow. Yeah, we had snow too. But it didn't sell because it was raining and snowing at the same time. It was significantly large snowflakes. The missus took the kids into school in the car, one of rare times. Of course, if I had my way, I'd make them walk in because when I was a lad, no one in our family drove, so I had to walk in all kinds of weather, soften them up, make them babies. So yeah, then I had to take the dog out in it, and that wasn't very nice. Like I said, I don't like this time of the year. I'm not one for the cold anymore. Andrew says it's freezing, -1. It's 1 degree. It's 1 degrees here, but the wind chill feels about -5. It is bitterly cold out there. Bitterly cold. Brr, brr. Bitterly cold it is. But I suppose it's just the time of the year, isn't it just? It's not even winter yet. We're still in autumn, so yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. It is what it is. We do what we do. Andrew says, we have school buses here in Cornwall. Ain't you the lucky one? They stopped the school buses, the school transport in Essex. They stopped it. Yeah. There were school buses that served our school and they cut them a good couple of years ago now. It was after the pandemic. They dumped them. But I think that's because, again, a lot of kids come from out the area, come from as far as Harlow and come from even from London as well on the Underground, I believe. So, Payne's in. He says, evening. Just been watching one of those SpaceX rockets. Oh, they're very good. Was you were watching Trump and Elon? No, they're big buds now. They're big buds. We'll be on Mars in no time. Mars in no time. But again, this is the thing. I know what gets me, right? What gets me is if you're of a certain age, if you're a certain vintage, the space program, space flight is still thrilling. But a lot of young folk, a lot of people, they see it as unnecessary. Well, why do we want to do that? Well, we should solve the problems on Earth first. But, the technology used for the space programs is often used to solve problems on Earth. And I think it's, NASA kind of, after the, space shuttle disaster, ow. cold. The cold doesn't agree with me. Ow! I forgot what I was saying. Space shuttle disaster. NASA, well, just kind of went into retreat, didn't it, really? And, it's good to see Elon and, to a lesser extent, Bezos, look into the stars. I think it's something as a species we should be doing. I think it's, it's only sensible. Andrew says, Elon Musk, the rocket man. Payne says, Mars ain't a place to raise a kid. In fact, it's cold as hell. I think you'll find that was William Shatner that said that. Don't get me started. Mind you, is it that time of year to watch William Shatner's Rocket Man rendition? I think you can watch it any time. I think that's something you don't even need a time for it, do you? Really, you can watch that whenever you want. I'm a rocket man. But I saw a good thing today. Does everybody here? They launched a banana. Well, they were going to launch an orange, but Donald Trump didn't want to go. I imagine that we're all Star Trek fans here, aren't we? We're all Trekkies, aren't we? Yeah, good. Oh, Beato's got his Gilmore interview. Oh, look, Beato's got his Gilmore interview. Oh, I'm so pleased for him. So I was just going to YouTube because I wanted to show you this link, this Star Trek thing that I really enjoyed today. I really liked it. Where is it? Under history, isn't it? Yeah, here we go. I really like this. This is some prime chat action. Here you go. Star Trek unification. I think called it unification. Go and watch that instead of watching me. It's really good. If you like Star Trek, and I do. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? Where are we? Pink said, yo Darren, nobody asked about Gilmore and Beato yet. Well, I've just noticed it. I haven't watched it because I'm not subscribed to Beato, and it takes me a few days for it to appear, but it's actually appeared in Is it my suggestions? Yeah, in my suggestions. And also, I was watching Great British Bake Off, and then I'm a Celebrity, like proper television, for proper people. None of this YouTube crap with these blowhards, these talking heads who are just like a waste of digital space, and bandwidth. These people that are just about projecting their personalities. You don't really get any information from them. They've got no value. It's all about them, isn't it? Have you noticed them? Have you noticed those people on YouTube are just there just to talk? Just to talk. They don't really serve any purpose, do they? Where are we? Oh, Mr. Hussey is in. This is good evening, Darren. 10 a.m. here. Hope you're great. Love your step counts. I need to catch up. It's not been that good. I don't know. What is my step count today? Have you been following my step counts? Have you got access to my step counts? It was a short one tonight because it's not as I just had to come home. It was too cold. But for those of you who want a step count update, those are the last 5 days. There you go. So that's the last 5 days. There you go. That's my pedometer. Oh no, my pedometer's gone off. Unfortunate title for an app, isn't it? Pedometer. Here we go. This hasn't updated yet, though, I don't think. And this is my. Here you go. This is my month. I think you probably can't see that. That's my month there. That's 248,056 steps so far. I've walked 114 miles this month so far. The previous month, no, you're not updating. Why won't you update? Stupid app. Yeah, last month was 409,923 and 206 miles in total. So when the doctor says I should be more active, I tell him to fuck off. Tell him to fuck off. Oh no, I've been deregulated already. Oh, Darren, don't you know they don't like anything? YouTube's very, very sensitive. Very sensitive. But then, we know that. Andrew says, Darren, can't you interview someone famous? No. I don't know anyone famous. And two, I doubt if anyone from the world of music would step into my parlour. You know, I don't think they'd like it. It'd be unpleasant. It'd be too unpleasant for them, because I'd ask questions, actual questions, rather than ask them to bend over so I could blow smoke up their arses. So no, again, I don't know. I don't really care that much about musicians or even music these days. It's, you know, with the way that the music industry's going and everything's just so cynical and so expensive, I just, you know, like just waiting for them all to die, really, aren't we? Aren't we? So I can say, don't worry folks, I'm still here. Oh man. Payne says, incisive questions from Beto, such as, how do you write a song? Polly was off camera. She's saying, no Dave, behave yourself Dave, behave yourself. Pink says, yeah Robert, it was a bit meh. I hate to say that Beto has done better interviews. He is not a good interviewer. Why on earth do you think he's a good interviewer? He is not an interviewer. He is not a trained journalist. God damn it. Some of us are. Some of us are journalists, god damn it. And we ask incisive questions, but those days are long gone. The days of incisive interviewing are over, because it's all about access. Because Beto cried. He went on camera, and I don't know how many million people, 3 million people, I imagine, watched him cry about not getting David Gilmour on. And now he's on. It's like, you know, it's like, okay. But I don't ever come away from these things feeling like I've learnt anything or got any greater insight to the people, because it's more about Beto showing them that he knows who they are. You know, it's, again, an interviewer should be invisible. An interviewer shouldn't be present. You know, they should be 2 steps back. It shouldn't be about their personality at all, and it shouldn't be them showing off about what they've heard or what they know, or what, you know. It should be about the questions, and it should lead you to places of knowledge, you know, and enlightenment that you've never been taken to before. You will not get that from Beto, and you will not get that from many of the interview people, you know. Like I said, if I had the chance to interview Gilmour or Phil Manzanera, excuse me, or Guy Pratt, I'd ask Gilmour, why did you fire Manzanera from your tour? Because that's the question everybody wants to know the answer to. But no one's going to answer that, because it's a bit iffy. Guy Pratt alluded to it and said that he nearly got fired. You know, in fact, he may have been fired and been brought back again because something happened. But you're never going to find out. You're only going to find out when people pass. You see? And it's all about, oh, your new album's rather nice, isn't it? I do like that song you did. You know, I do. Yeah, so, you know, my mind works in more tabloid ways, I suppose. You know, the old-fashioned journalists who used to get to the dirt. There's no dirt, there's no grit, because it's all very carefully curated. The internet has allowed this artist to very carefully curate the image that they present. And it can go all ways. You can get Gilmore doing Beto, or you can get Roger Waters on Piers Morgan, you know. And you can, in that instance, you really saw who Roger Waters was. Even Little Roger made an appearance. What's that, Little Roger? What's that? I shouldn't talk about Roger like that. Oh, sorry, Little Roger. Won't do that again. So Little Roger just made an appearance. Payne says 58 minutes of You're Good at Playing Guitar, aren't you? And some clips from his latest album. Yeah. Lila asks, when are the deckies going up? Are you not from Liverpool, are you? You're not from Liverpool. Decorations, probably the 1st of December, maybe. First week, maybe the second week. It depends how we feel. Again, people have already, around here, people have already got their decorations up. There are trees in windows, and that began in October. It ain't right. It ain't right. Is it? It ain't right. But yeah, before you know it, it will be Christmas. It's got less than, a month to go? Crikey. I said to the kids in January last year, well, actually, I said to the missus when we were taking the decorations down, it won't be long before we're putting them up again. We should just leave them up. We should just leave them up. I'm getting too old for this. I'm getting too old for going up in the loft. I'm too old. I'm too old. Oh, dear. Renee says, ever been to the Netherlands? The Netherlands? No, I've not, no. Mr. E says, I preferred Beto's Rick Wakeman interview. Well, again, Rick Wakeman just talked. Rick Wakeman is the easiest person, excuse me, to interview, because you just go, hi, Rick, and he'll go, well, when I was in Yes, and there was in that time when Steve Howe changed all the tapes out of my Birotron, and I was really annoyed. You know, he'll tell you a story. Though I did hear the Queen Mum story before. You know, he does tend to recycle stories, but he's a raconteur. You know, he's an old-fashioned, storyteller. So it doesn't take much to get a good interview out of Rick Wakeman. Yeah. So, but yeah, you could just talk for hours. You could just leave the camera on him. Go, keep talking, Rick. Keep talking. Yeah, he's good. I like Rick Wakeman. I don't like his music, but I like him as a person, and as a personality. Music again, because he's a keyboard player. Too fiddly. I like his classical playing, like when he plays just piano, but synthesizers, a bit. Simon says, bloody hell, impressive, well done. Walking is the best. Well, I think there's even better steps. That was just. Over the summer, there's even more. I think there's even more walking. I have to pull that up. You've got to remember, I've got a border collie who demands walks. Many, many walks. Let's go to August. Come on, August. Load. Yeah, it did a bit better there. 214 miles in August. 400,663 steps. Oh, that was 409,000. It's funny how some months are better, isn't it, than others. And this one has, look, apparently in May I didn't walk anything at all. Obviously it hasn't updated properly. What's that all about? I did walk. I've got evidence of it. But on average I do about 400. I do about 400,000 steps a month, and about between 205 and 215 miles. Depending. Again, it depends on the weather, because if it's raining, I don't really like walking long walks in the rain. And this cold tonight, I would have gone longer tonight, but I had a short one because it was so cold. I said to the dog, I'm going to cut this one short. We'll just go back. It was too unbearably cold. I'm finding the cold really hard to handle. Because I'm just old. Everything's starting to hurt again. That's why I prefer the summer. I don't get all the aches and pains. Seventh Wave says, haha, blowing smoke up the bum is what stardom is all about. You see, you're from a different age. Some of us remember proper music journalism. Go online, try and find some old interviews or some old reviews from the 70s and 80s and even into the 90s. It all started going a bit milquetoast around the turn of the millennium, when a lot of the advertising revenue kind of leached out of the magazine industry and started going into like the online world. Before that, you know, you weren't guaranteed like publicity in magazines, so you had to like do interviews, and you know, and reviews were a lot more, was it, scabrous than they are now. You know, it was better. It was a better time. It was a better time. Now everything's just 5 stars because we've got a full page ad on the opposing page. Again, it's the thing that I railed against when I was working in the. So I've got a sneeze coming. I've got a sneeze. Sorry about that. When I was working doing reviews, again, you know, you'd write an honest review, and you'd have the editor say, "Can you bump the stars up? Because we've got an advert going in." Or, you know, we're doing a promo with the software company. And again, there was that time when I actually got harassment via email from the. I don't know if it was the company. I can't remember now. I think it might have been the company itself, like the PR manager for the. Well, they weren't using an outside PR manager. They actually had their own like press person, and he harassed me for about 9-10 months after I'd left the company. I kept getting emails from him saying about, you know, the review I'd done for his shitty security software. So, you know, that's why I have no interest in going back there again. I quite like being an independent mind on here. You know, I buy the stuff and I review the stuff and then I sell the stuff if I'm lucky. But hey, thanks to streaming, you don't need me. That's the thing. Streaming means you don't need my opinion. You know, because you can taste it yourself. You can give it a try. There's so, you know, the streaming services are free. You know, you can just go on there, jump on an album, stream it, and then decide not to buy it, because what's the point when you've got streaming? Yeah. And Simon says, my partner is a trained journalist, ABC Australia, and I constantly get, ask the question. I'd like to see Beta do that. What do you want for breakfast? Oh, I don't know. Answer the question. What do you want? A shit or a shave? I don't know. Answer the question. Must be fun in your house. You're talking about you, yeah? She's interviewing you. Yeah, someone adds, yes, decorating in late September. You're kind of all over it already. Then the hot cross buns come out in January. I don't mind the hot cross buns because I do like a hot cross bun, so I don't mind seeing them early. They could be all year round for all I care. I tell you, I made some lovely bread pudding at the weekend. Yeah, bread pudding. Oh, it was great. Me and the kids didn't like it, so me and the missus, we ate a lot. Turned out just fine, and I'm gonna make some more. I haven't done that in years. So, yeah. Dog cam, she's not here. She's run away. Look, you got a delicious sleeping clip of her this morning. You were spoilt. You were spoilt. No, she's upstairs. She's on the bed, I'd imagine. She's upstairs with the missus, I'd imagine. So, anyone else? Anything else? It was very nice indeed. You were spoiled. I mean, it was lucky to actually catch her well, sleeping. So, he says, shall we... Oh, have you heard about... I was just going to do that. I was just going to do that. Shall we talk about it? Shall we talk about it? I wasn't going to talk about it because I was going to wait for the... you know, wait for the official announcement. But I don't know if you've been I don't know if you follow Genesis on Facebook or any of the socials. They've been posting lots of lamb related imagery. I see lots of it going on. And I think, oh god, one of the Genesis sites has said, oh yeah, we're announcing the box set on the 22nd, which is technically the anniversary. Well, again, depending on where you read, I think it's the American versus the UK release date. In the UK, I think it was released on the 18th of November, or was it the American? I can't remember. And then there's the 22nd of November that it was released. So there's two release dates depending on who you listen to. You can get prog rock fans arguing for days with that kind of information. But yeah, they're saying that this box set's going to be announced on Friday. Much speculation, rumour. We can talk rumour. There are going to be two sets. One is kind of the super deluxe edition, which has got the vinyl. There's like a 6 vinyl thing and CDs and Blu-ray. Apparently there's an Atmos mix. Yeah. And there's going to be and that's going to be like €200. So I call it 200 quid. And there's going to be like a CD edition, cut down version, which will be 100 quid. So yeah, that's it. There are rumours of them doing the Shrine show again. Again, that happened on the Genesis archive, but this time they've got the tapes, all the tapes. So it's going to be a complete set with the encores, and again, it on the archive box set was more an actual studio version. It wasn't the Shrine Auditorium thing. It was a re-record with Gabriel redoing the vocals. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people got a bit pissy about him redoing vocals on that, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, that's another talk. They're talking also that it may be a new master. I'm not going to say mix because they're saying it's like 2024 master or 2024 edition. It could be a new mix. Doesn't matter. Don't really care. Wait and see. Like I said, this is all speculation, and of course there will be this big coffee table book which will have lots of pictures in it. And I knew about that from my Italian contact who sent me the big book, because they were trying to clear some of the photographs from that for this thing. And the really curious thing about it is they reckon there's going to be like a load of demos and rehearsal stuff, but that ain't going to be in the set. That's going to be on a download card, so you'll be able to download that. I don't know how I feel about that. I'd rather it be on the disc, in the set. But then again, it depends how much this stuff there is. If there's 6 hours of this stuff, it probably would be impractical to put it on the disc. And of course, why isn't it out now? Well, I imagine that because it's done by committee and everyone has to sign off on it. Gabriel signs off on it. Hackett signs off on it. These things take time. It did with the 2007 box sets. They took a long time. Again, it's mainly Gabriel, who's notoriously slow at making a decision. I'm not blaming him, it's just the way he is. But also it might be to do with some of the pictures getting clearance for this big coffee table book. Am I excited? I don't know. Will there be any new, like I say, new light shone on it? Probably not. Will I buy it? Don't want to buy it. They're going to make me buy it. You know, I feel a bit loath to buy anything these days to do with music. It's just, I know, I find it hard to get excited. I find it hard to get excited by any of this stuff. But, you know, it's something to look forward to. Oh, and the release date is March. I think something's like March the 28th or something. So yeah, you're looking at ponying up, depending on what these sets are. If there is like a complete version, or if there is an LP Blu-ray set and a CD Blu-ray set, well, I want CD, LP, and Blu-ray all in one. So I'll end up maybe ponying up 300 quid, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about it. Though, you know, you could always wait for it to come down in price. I mean, I scored the what was it? The Live at the BBC vinyl for 20 quid instead of, was it nearly 70 quid when it was released? So, you know, sometimes it works to wait for stuff, sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, that's what's rumbling in the world of Genesis. And like I said, they reckon the announcement's coming on Friday. They're preparing it. They're prepping with all these, you know, little animated gifs from the album cover. And you know, yeah, it's the Lamb. I'll probably buy it. It's one of my favourite records. God damn it. Andrew says on the guitar. Yeah, the guitar. Mystery says, have you heard Frost's new album? Why? Why would I listen to that? Why? I'd rather pour molten lead in my ears. Simon says, ironically, it's Tony Banks' least favourite album. He says that. He says that. He says that. He doesn't mean it. It's got some of his best solos on it. You know? Riding the Scree, one of the greatest keyboard solos ever. Expressive. Yeah. You see, because Tony Banks plays keyboard like guitar. If you listen to his solos, he structures and phrases keyboard solos like a guitar solo. Knocking around with Hackett, that is. And I think that's why I like him. That's why he's my preferred keyboard player. I like him. Plonk. I like him as my keyboard player of choice because he has an expressive way of playing the keyboards, and he also does those nice big chords, those big luscious washes of synth with those big Tony Banks chords, which we all love, don't we? Rene says we have black pudding over here. Yeah, we have blood sausage too. We have black pudding over here, but I'm talking about bread pudding, which is made out of bread and not blood. But we also have black pudding, which you have often with breakfast, you know, with fried eggs and bacon and beans and everything else. I like black sausage. I mean, crikey, as a lad, we used to have black sausage in a sandwich. Yeah, it used to be nice. Used to like that, you know. If we had any over from the fry up, we'd have some black sausage in a sandwich. God, those are the days. Simon asked, "Wonder if there is a remix." Well, again, if you go to one of the, I can't remember which Genesis site it is. They're kind of debating whether it's a new mix or just a remaster again. If they've done Atmos though, if they've done an Atmos mix, I would imagine it's a new mix, because it doesn't make sense to do an Atmos mix. You'd have to load everything into the computer to do the Atmos fix, so you might as well, as a byproduct, do a whole new stereo or 5. I'm hoping that there is a 5.1 mix and it isn't just Atmos, because that's no good to me, and no good to me whatsoever. Don't want it. I've not heard an Atmos mix that makes me happy yet. They all sound wrong compared to a good 5.1 mix. They just sound hollow. They don't sound right. Andrew says, the Super Deluxe set for me, I think. Oh yeah, but you can afford everything. You're a millionaire or whatever it is, isn't you? Renee says, I bought City Skylines 2. Have you played it, Darren? It's a city builder. I've played the original one because of SimCity. But I played it on I think I played it on the Xbox. And yeah, it's alright. But I'm used to SimCity and a mouse and a keyboard. You know, I miss SimCity. When's Maxis coming back to life? Bring Maxis back. I used to love SimCity and SimCity 2000. Those were the days. But no, SimCity, no, that ain't what it's called. City Skyline. Yes, it's all right. It's okay. I mean, if that's what you've got, that's what you got. I think it's even on the Switch, isn't it? It's everywhere. But I remember when it first was on the Xbox. I think I had a go at it, and you know, it's all right. Yeah, it's all right. Payne says, "Good night. I'm tired." He's off. He's off again. And have a good sleep. Simon says, as some of his best work, there was more friction between him and Gaylord, and it's been said by both. Yet the best keyboard player, my biggest influence. Yeah, but there was always friction. You know, because was it Tony Banks stole Peter Gabriel's pencil case or whatever it was. You know, and that's without Andy Phillips, you know, having the horn for Peter Gabriel's missus. You know, there was always friction in that band. Mystery says, Firth of Force is my favourite Genesis track. Indeed. And Andrew likes the In the Cage medley. Indeed. It's all good stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's coming, you know, you're going to get it. You know, there is a set on the horizon, but the thing about Genesis is they do take an awful long time to do everything. Well, at least when Gable's involved, you know. Because he likes to mull things over. But I mean, what they should print on it is it's the 40th anniversary box set, because then it would have taken that would be even funnier. Because we've got to cast your mind back to 10 years ago, and the whole sum of the parts archive thing. That was meant to be the 40th anniversary of the Lamb celebration, but it morphed. The management got involved with it all, and it morphed into a let's have a chat with Genesis, which ended up being a complete dog's breakfast. It was all uneven and wonky, and ended up really not making anybody happy. So, you know, those were the days. Genesis are a bit of an odd band because, you know, they've got quite a lot of potential to, you know, bring out new material. And instead of there being all these bootlegs of live material out there, they could bring out their own live box sets. You know, limited runs. They could just do loads of from every year. You know, they could do like 70. There might be some recordings from 71, 72. There's probably one recording of them in 1970. It's the Atomic Sunrise Festival where Bowie was on the bill. They should get the rights for that, release that. But yeah, they could do like a box set for every year, just bringing together some of the better shows. And according to Phil Collins, they do have like soundboard recordings to an awful lot of their stuff, because he was the archivist. They used to listen to these recordings to improve themselves. But you know, as I've said before, back in the late 90s, around the time of the Carpet Crawlers single remix coming out, Tony Banks asked, do you want us to release live material? And everyone said yeah. They had a poll. It was like a fan poll, and everyone said yes, and nothing happened. So, you know, I think it's really daft. They should just, you know, whilst they're still all around and there's still some interest, whilst we're still all around, they could capitalise on this and also get it up onto streaming, which means all these bootleggers, because they are bootleggers, despite you being able to buy it from Burning Shed, who really should hang their head in shame, because they're no longer they're no better than a bootleg seller. They're a bootlegger themselves because they sell this stuff and profit out of it. I could never believe what I see, especially on Amazon and Burning Shed. These repurposed radio shows, you know, which is always inferior product, and now you've got the added joy of every cover being AI fucking generated, whether it's Pink Floyd or Genesis or whoever, insert your favourite band here, blink and you'll see an AI generated cover, you know. The same old tat that you can download for nothing if you look in the right places. And you'll buy it because you're dumb. Dumb as... Andrew says, Phil Anthony's box set coming out. It's already out, mate. It's already out. Very little interest to me because I own all but one CD in it, you know, so I don't really want to buy it again. And that's about 120, 130 quid. Great if you don't own any of his material, but I think on the shelf, where's M's? M's. M. There. M's. All the M's. Well, you can't see, my head's in the way. There. That's Phil Manzanera, lives there. Look. And I've got the all Diamond Head, Listening, K-Scope. EG Records CD pressings. The EG Records CDs. The good pressings. And I do regret offing my 801 Live CD years ago because I thought, oh, when there was a new 801 box set which I've got upstairs, oh yeah, I've got it up on the shelf up there somewhere. Oh, this would be good, and then that was a load of crap. That was a load of crap. I'm too hard. Simon says, I've never asked you. Good. The Carpet Crawls remake with Trevor missed the mark for me, sadly. Well, I really enjoyed it. So... Mystery said, excited about a possible Kate Bush album? I'm guessing a release in 2026. I don't know. It's I don't know really, because you know, 50 words for shit I didn't really enjoy very much. I'm very, very rude. Why do they make me so rude? Rennie says, at the moment I'm addicted to Future Island. People aren't there anymore. It was a good review, Darren. Thanks. Yeah, they're alright. They're alright, that band. They're okay. They do the job. Got a kind of 80s vibe to them, so, you know. I think they did kind of augment it with a bit more guitar. Gurgle. Oh dear, my tongue's gurgling. Gurgle. Singles is, I like Singles. Singles has got the hit on it. Singles is a good album. It's the one that that really, I think, changed their fortunes. Again, their previous albums were a bit, but that one they really got, I think, got a real sense of themselves, which was nice. Oh God, we've got to verify you. Oh, you've got to put in your password again, and then we're going to ask to send you a text message. Because everything, yeah, just so you can look on eBay. Oh, you got to love eBay and all these sites now, because continually getting text messages from them just to verify who I am. Yep, you need more bread pudding indeed. I think we all need more bread pudding. Everybody needs pudding. 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 Just gonna keep saying bread pudding. Now what should we talk about? What are we going to talk about now? Oh dear. Oh, excuse me. Keep myself up. Is there anything else to talk about? I don't know. It's all gone quiet. Simon says, "May I ask, did you get over the peripheral neuropathy?" Yes. Yes. No, I wouldn't say I'm over it, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad as it was. Though the cold makes it spike. You know, I get shooting pains because the weather. But in the summer, I'm a lot better. I'm a lot better with it. But then you got to remember, it takes like 2 years. It takes 2 years for your nerves to start to like heal themselves. But I can feel cold in my feet now, which I'm not a fan of. Because it wasn't that long ago I could go into the bathroom with no socks on, you know, and walk on the tiles and not notice it, and get back into bed again and not notice it. But now I'm like, oh, my feet, rub my feet together. I noticed that my feet are cold in bed, whereas I went for a good couple of years not noticing, you know, didn't have to rub them together, you know. So it's coming back. It is coming back. But then, you know, I'm pre-diabetic, my condition, because when I got my diagnosis, I cut out all sugar. I mean, I was on the verge of doing that anyway, because, you know, I'd slowly weaned myself off sugar in my tea, and got down to about a quarter of a teaspoon of sugar in my tea. But that adds up. It adds up over a day. So I ditched that, and you know, I don't eat a lot of sweet stuff. I've cut down on bread, and I have more wholemeal bread. It's hard to cut down on potatoes though, because I do like a chip and I do like mashed potato. So, you know, that's hard. But I have smaller portions. I don't have so much, you know. But I don't have a lot of chocolate and things like that. And I don't have a lot of sweet stuff. And yeah, I'm just a bit more careful with what I do with myself, you know. So you just got to be careful and eat around it, as it were. So, and of course, I exercise a lot. I do a lot of walking, and you know. But it's a difficult age, because at this age your body does tend to slow down in terms of your metabolism, and you know, it's hard to lose weight. You know, it really is, without starving yourself. And it'd be a lot easier if I lived on my own. But I live with people. See, I live with my family, and I'm the cook. And when you cook for everyone, and you sit at the dinner table and you eat with everyone. And it's really hard to starve yourself when you're with other people and you're cooking for them. Whereas when they go away, you know, in the summer up to the grandparents, I don't eat. I don't have to eat, so I can starve myself, and it's great, you know. So I tend to lose a bit of weight for that 1 week in the summer, but you know, it is what it is. I feel a lot better. I was really quite bad with it. I was not in a good place with it, and I couldn't bear the thought of the future, being in like pain every day. Now, it's not so bad. I feel like I've got over it. But again, bringing in the C word, COVID, some of these symptoms are symptomatic of long COVID. The exhaustion and the various things that ail you. You know, and I always wonder if it had anything to do with that, if they were linked in any chance. And there has been a massive spike in type 2 diabetes diagnosis around the time of the vid. So, you know, I don't think they really know what's going on with all of that. But, you know, I feel a bit better. You know, I feel a bit better, and that's the important thing. I feel a bit better. But yeah, you can turn it around, but it just takes a long time. Again, it depends how much damage you've done. Oh, look, there it is. There it is. It was there all along. This is going to make me a fortune. This is my lightning cable to 3.5 millimeter headphone adapter. This is going to make me a fortune. I knew I had it somewhere. It was on my desk all along. Everything usually is on my desk or around my desk. But yeah, so thank you for asking, Simon. Thank you for asking. This is off topic, I know. I blame it for having to stand while playing keyboard live. Wasn't allowed to sit down. What? You weren't allowed to sit down? What? Who was running the band? Bluebeard the Pirate? What do I think of In Excess? I know that Michael Hutchins drives a strangle wank. Oh no. Have we lost the Australians? Oh shit. I only like dun 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 and that's about my limit of it. I wouldn't say I'm a fan. No, I'm not a fan. But I like that one. Need you tonight, 'cause I'm not sleeping. You see, Michael Hutchins, right, could have any woman in the world, yet he died of a strangle wank. That's really sad, isn't it? Isn't that the saddest thing ever? You'd think it'd be all those like nerds, those nerds who can't get girlfriends that'd be dying of strangle wanks, but Michael Hutchins, what's that all about, eh? What's that all about? It makes you think, doesn't it? It makes you think. You know, I mean, you'd want to do that just in case it does go wrong, and your loved ones find you with, I don't know, your trousers around your ankle, you know, belt round your neck, dangling from the door handle. You know, you don't want to be found like that, do you? With the porn you're watching playing on a loop, something really distasteful and disgusting. Yeah, I don't want to be found like that. You know, no way. But yeah, Michael Hutchins could have had any woman in the world, but it was a strangle wank. There we go. Have I lowered the tone? Shouldn't ask me that In Excess, should you? Simon says that's good news. Improvement. Yeah, well, again, you know, walking is a great aid for the feet, you know, from you know, for this kind of thing. So I've walked the fuck out of my feet. I said to him, it's either you or me, and it's not going to be me feet. You're going down, feet. You're going down to Chinatown. And I taught him a lesson. I got him under control. I still get a little bit in my fingers. And again, part of me thinks it is actually rheumatism because, again, you probably can't see the nodules that are growing on my fingers there. You see there? Because my fingers are all kind of, they all bend in different directions. Look, I'm not being rude, but look, can you see how that bends to the wrong? This is why I can't play guitar like all the big boys, because my fingers are, they all bend. So look, if I close, that finger should go straight, but it curls inwards. So if you're trying to finger something, I don't have the reach that I should have. That's my excuse for being a shit guitarist, all right? And it's getting worse. And, you know, and so my playing is just getting worse and worse and worse because, look at that. Look at it. That little finger shouldn't point in that direction. It should point down. Look, like that. Do you see? See, that one's a bit straighter. Look at my fingers. Never done a day's work in their lives. Look at them, soft like a lady's hands. How about salt? I don't have a lot of salt in my diet. So, again, I'm not somebody that has lots of... But no, I don't have a lot of salt in my diet. My body is a temple. Like I said, it's one of those temples you find abandoned in the rainforest, you know, with monkeys living in it, you know, and a boulder that rolls down and tries to kill you. That's what my body is. It's a temple that's crumbling. I'm really, really healthy, apart from not sleeping, apart from my insomnia, which is, it just gets worse when the days are long. I mean, the summer I'm fine, but when the winter, when you think I need more sleep, I just want to sleep during the day and be awake during the night. It's like it's doing my head in. I've been getting by on like 3 to 4 hours, hours of sleep, a day, and it's not good. It's not good, he says. I don't know. I feel fine. But it's probably shortening my life, but that's all right. But no, I don't have a lot of salt. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Never done anything wrong. I'm so good. I'm such a good boy. And like I say, I have a crazy border collie who makes me walk, who could walk for miles and miles and miles. She could walk forever. That's a good thing. Someone says, you're looking a lot better. I remember when you were in the middle of it. Yeah, but I was a lot worse if you go back to the videos what I first started doing when I was at home and the missus was first going out to work. I was looking after the kids, looking after Herb and all that. And Herb was very difficult to deal with because he was fully autistic, if you know what I mean. That was very wearing, and you can see me just dying. I'm just dying inside because I had to deal with two young kids under 5, and you don't do anything. You're just indoors, making sure they don't kill themselves, and dealing with the screaming and the noise, because Herb was just, that's how he vocalised. And I didn't want to tell him to stop because I wanted him to talk. So I used to encourage him. But after a whole day of it, you're a bit frazzled. And I used to do the videos as a bit of a getaway. I used to do them late of the night. So it was I used to be very, very quiet. And everything was a bit more like that. Because it was my way of escaping it and thinking about something else, because of what I was doing during the day. So I look at those videos and think, God, you look like you were about to have a heart attack. You look like you were about to die. And yeah, again, it's only when you have a health scare that you. But the thing is, even before this, my diet hasn't changed much. Like I said, I don't drink. I gave up drink before Verity was born. I vowed I'm not going to drink. Yeah, I have a drink at Christmas, and I might have a drink on my birthday, and I might have a drink on the missus' birthday. It's literally, I can count the times I drink on one hand. It's very, very limited. And again, it's not to black out drunkenness. It's to lightly toasted. I have a couple. I haven't been drunk in fucking years. Well, how old's Verity? 17 years. I haven't been drunk. Though I can't imagine what the hangovers would be like. So I've always been kind of healthy. It's just raising the kids made me put a lot of weight on because you don't do anything. You got to walk at a small child's pace. You're indoors. Alex was geriatric. He couldn't walk anymore. So we were just walking to the end of the road very slowly and back, So it wasn't a good time for me because when Alex was younger, we'd walk miles. I'd force him to walk, He'd have 3 or 4 walks a day. Not as far as Layla does because he was a smaller dog. But, I used to get out a bit more and then, you kind of hit this wall. And I think that kind of damaged my health a lot. I think there was a lot of stuff from the shop that a lot of baggage from what happened there, which I still think, again, the way I feel about things, I think I've been mentally damaged by what happened there. And I say that I've had my feelings stripped away from me. I think it's like the PTSD of the what happened in that shop incident. I was talking to the missus about that and said I haven't felt right for years. I'm feeling a bit more like me, but I don't feel the same way about things. And I think that's because of what happened. It puts everything in perspective. It fundamentally changes your view of everything when everything you have is taken away from you. You just wake up and you have to leave your home. It's like a missile hitting your house. Well, it was, because the car was a missile. And I think it changed me, and I've been trying to get back to who that guy was, and I don't think I can. I think he's gone, he's dead, he's buried, he's finished, and I had to become a very different person to survive all that and, get us through it and manage the finances and, and it's been one struggle after another, since that, because we went from being secure to being kind of secure with a shop, then to be completely insecure, then to be insecure and the bank breathing down our necks because, you know, the shop wasn't making enough money because all the customers had fled, and, you know, and then coming back and then being insecure again, and then coming here and being insecure for the last decade because we didn't have enough money to take this on, and we borrowed money when we shouldn't have done, you know. So, but we're out of that now, thank God. You know, so it's been an interesting 17 years. I wouldn't say it's my finest 17 years, but it's been interesting. You know, we got through it, but it all changes you. It makes you, you know, and that's the only reason I'm on here, is because what else is there to do? You know? What else is there to? Who else am I going to talk to? Because it's either this or talk to the dog, and she just wants to play ball. She's not interested in me talking to her. She's not a Hannah or an Alex who would listen to my ramblings. She's like, oh, shut up, just throw the ball and blow a raspberry while you're at it. Go on, you blow the raspberry, I'll fetch the ball. That's the deal. You blow the raspberry, I will fetch the ball. She's got me trained. It's crazy. You know, so again, this is why I do this, I suppose. It's a bit of therapy. You know, but it's been strange, you know, everything's been strange. It's all weird, you know. And now I don't know where we're going because, you know, we're reaching various endings. You know, Verity's got like another year and a bit to go, and then she's doing A-levels and going out into the world because she doesn't want to go to university. And then Herb's going to get his GCSEs, and, you know, it's going to change things financially in the house because of, you know, child benefit and that. I don't know where, with bills going up, I don't know where we're going to afford everything, and I don't know, moving might be an option. I don't know. It's hard, or heaven forfend that someone should give me a job. Ha, ha, ha. Give me a break. But no, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's all rather weird. And like I say, I don't feel particularly connected to music in that respect. I mean, I listen to music, but I can't get excited about what's coming out. You say, oh, there's a new Kate Bush album coming out. I go, so? It won't be Ariel. It's more likely to be 50 words for shit. I mean, Snow. And I didn't like that album. Yeah, so, yeah, strange times, isn't it, really? Just want to get through the 50s, because 50s is Sniper's Alley, so I'm just trying to take it easy. If I can get to 60, then I've got 7 years to 67 when all my relatives died, you know, my mum, my nan, my granddad, they all died, 67. My father was, oh crikey, I can't remember when my dad was born. He was younger than my mum. Was it? I think it was 47, wasn't it? Yeah, he was 69. So, you know, and then if I can make it through 70, I think I'm downhill all the way, because my older relatives, my great grandparents, all got to 90s, in their 90s. So, you know, I haven't got much time left, and all I'm doing is pissing about, you know. And this is the thing: you start off when you're young, you think you're going to change the world, you think you're going to do everything. I've done things, you know. I've travelled, I've met people, and I've done interesting things. But I always felt there could have been more, you know. I don't think I really made my potential, and that's why I get a bit sad about that I didn't try harder and I didn't push harder. But, you know, when you're not born with ambition and you're just happy to, you know, be creative, it's not a good fit in this world. I wasn't built for this world, you know, and that's that. And there's a part of me thinks I should write some more, you know, write some books. I've got some book ideas, you know, I want to do, but then it's just sitting down and losing myself to writing for, you know, a month or two, because that's how long it takes. And I don't know if I want to do that. Young man's game. I've got to walk a dog. That's the thing. Ronnie says, I think you look better now than a few years ago. Thank you. Thank you. Meanwhile, Mr. E says, oh, the mousetrap's gone. Someone's got mice, Jesus Christ. Someone says, it sucks getting older. Yeah, nobody warns you about it. They don't tell you that bits are going to fall off, bits ain't going to work so well, you know. The aches and pains, the clicking and cracking and popping. When I get up from the sofa to leave the room, it sounds like I've poured milk on a bowl of Rice Krispies, such is the popping and cracking of my joints. Mr. E says, I'm back, false alarm. My goodness, you need a cat. Andrew says, it must have been very stressful, worrying at the time. What, during the shop years? No. And if I did, I kept it secret because I didn't want anybody to know. I wanted to, because again, I was the one dealing with all the finances and, you know, paying the builders and dealing with the insurance and doing all the nuts and bolts of it. And the missus was kind of doing the shop with my mum, you know, looking after that kind of side of things. And I was still doing the mechanics of the shop. It was like the old Swan thing, you know. It was effortless, but there was a lot of paddling involved. So, yeah, I had a few sleepless nights, but it was more about just getting through it. You know, it's like pushing through. You become kind of blind. You think, well, I've got this far. You know, it's like I got out of the house. I got a new place, you know, to stay. We got the scaffolding up. The builders are in. It was like a series of steps you had to step through. You had to move towards, you know. So the only time I worried was when we first went back. It would have been later the Sunday, and we saw it in the cold light of day. And I said to the missus, we can run away if you want. We don't have to see this through. We can just run away with the shirts on our back. We can just run away and start again. Or we can stay and fight. And we looked at each other and went, stay and fight? It's like, I know no other option. You know, and so, yeah, there were worries, but it was mainly dealing with like insurers, because the insurers were shitbags who were determined not to pay what they owed, and fighting for the things that we were owed, because we paid the insurance. You know, it's all in black and white, and they wanted to argue the fucking toss. They are lower than the bloody the insurers are lower than the tax man, and then having to deal with the tax man and VAT on the roof. It's like, because our builder said, no, you don't have to pay VAT on the roof because it's a business. You can get the VAT back. And we had this big argument about whether the roof was the roof for the home or for the business. And I said, but if you don't have the roof, you don't have the business. If you if you take the roof away, you can still have the business because the home is above it. You know? And I was having these semantic arguments about the VAT value of the roof repair. And so I said, how much is it? He said, I can't tell you. I mean, what do you mean you can't tell me? He goes, can't tell you. I said, okay, is it £1? He went, no. Is it £2? He went, no. 3? No. I said, so what do I do? He said, you get in touch with us and you tell us how much you think the VAT is on the roof, and we'll tell you if you're right and wrong. £4. He went, no. And it went on for a bit. And I got quite frustrated because I said to him, you're here to close me down. I said, I'm a family man trying to get this back to work, and you're here to close me down. I've got a good mind to pick this monitor up and put it over your head. He got scared. He got visibly scared of me because this son of a... Right? He didn't turn up on time. Due to turn up at 10. He turned up at 11:15 because he had to get the bus, because he'd been banned from driving. I imagine. And that's who I'm dealing with. This is the man from the HMRC who wanted to close me down, right, because of VAT on the roof. And that's what I had to deal with. Right? I've seen things and it makes you kind of jaded. It really does. Because I'm not going anywhere. This is the thing. I'm not running away. There's nowhere for me to run. You know, and they're like, oh, you owe us. But we're not going to tell you how much you owe us. You know, but you owe us. The mafia don't even behave like that. But, you know, it's just one of the crazy stories that was involved in all of that. You know, like I said, if it weren't that, it was the insurers who were constantly twisting and turning. That's why I had to hire my own loss assessor to come in and fight them, fire with fire. Cost me a lot of money, cost me nearly 20 grand. Right, that didn't help. But if I didn't employ him, that shop would still be being rebuilt today, because that's how long it takes. If you ever see a shop or anywhere that's been smashed up and you wonder why it hasn't been fixed or it's like been abandoned, it's because the insurers are around, right? And the people involved didn't have the sense to get their own loss assessor in and fight them, because that's what we did. We fought them every stretch of the way, and it was worth the 20 grand. And you know, it put us into debt, but that's what we had to do just to get it all back, just to get it all fixed. You know, it was crazy. It was crazy, but you know, yeah, it was a crazy, crazy time. And you know what? I'd probably do it all again. Because if we hadn't have done that, we wouldn't have Herb. Because Herb was conceived and born during all of that. Yeah, conceived him whilst we was at the coach house, literally a month after it happened. Oh yeah. Like I said, me and the missus only ever had sex twice, so you know. So maybe stress does make you horny. But yeah, because there's never a right or wrong time to have a kid or to buy a house or anything for that matter. So there you go. So we wouldn't have Herb if we hadn't gone through all that. So he's my blessing. You know, he's my hero out of all of this. So there's always a good thing. There's always a silver lining. He's my silver lining. Simon says, congratulations on being a dedicated parent and doing all this, Darren. It's always been a magical distraction. Thank you, I'm sure, for all your subscribers. Well, I don't tend to really talk about the kids much. You know, I used to do videos back in the past, in the old days when, you know, you could hear her screaming and hollering about it. I felt like I had to explain what was going on. And also I wanted to kind of give a narrative to those who were going through a similar thing. You know, I didn't want to be your friend. You get a lot of people seeking you out. You get a lot of autists seeking you out, and parents of autists thinking that we can all be friends. I've got enough autism in my life, thank you very much. I don't need yours. And I'm not being cruel, because it's all different. I have a very different experience to it that you're going through. So I'm only here to show that you can deal with it, and it can be positives to it. You know, and because again, that's what they always push you to do. Go to a support group. What? So you can all sit around in a circle? Fuck off! No way! I ain't doing that. I carried a burden on my own. You know, again, the missus didn't have to deal with a lot of that. She was at work. You know, she had her own thing to deal with, and you know, I shouldered it. Mind you, it was very nice. It was very nice when Herb left the infants to go to the juniors, because the Senko lady, the special educational needs teacher, who we had lots of interviews with, she actually said to me, you know, you've done a great job. You know, I was like absolutely gobsmacked, because Mrs. was with me, but she said to me, you know, you've done a great job here, you know, done a really good job of doing all this. And I was kind of really humbled by it and embarrassed, you know, because, you know, Mrs. was with me, you know, she'd done some too. It weren't all me, you know, but, you know, it's what you do, isn't it? And when you have a child who is different, you see the world differently, because they don't like the disabled, you know. When Herb was little, he used to get invited to birthday parties, but once they found out that he was on the spectrum, he never got invited. And so did Verity. When Verity was at the school, she had 3 years when she got invited to birthday parties, and when Herb started, all the invitations stopped. Or she'd get invited and then disinvited, you know. And, you know, this is why, you know, her friends don't come round, you know, because of Herb, you know. It's out there. It's out there all the time. We have a different burden to carry because the world is cruel. And they talk about inclusivity and all this crap, and it's not, because they're always going to exclude this disabled because they're not like us. We don't want them dribbling on the bus, do we? You know, and that's why it's all bullshit. When you hear about inclusivity and equity and diversity, it's all because, yeah, you'll have a blind guy dancing on Strictly, But you won't have a severely disabled person in their wheelchair on Strictly. That's never going to happen. You know, it's never going to happen. So it's all a mockery. It's all a joke, you know. Makes me angry. Because you hear so much cobblers, so much cobblers. When you're on the sharp end of it, and we're lucky with Herb. We are lucky because we're on the low end of it. You know, there could be a chance that Herb will live a functional life, but whether or not he'll be able to exist on his own independently, early days yet. He's 15. He's got a corking sense of humour on him now. He's got a dark sense of humour, and you know, not a lot of people might get it, but I get it. But whether or not he'll have the faculty to live on his own is another matter. Then there's always a chance that people will exploit him, because vulnerable people are like, it's like sharks sniffing blood in the water, you know. And there should be a hate crime division for that, but there won't be, because, like I say, the disabled don't count. This is why I get a bit militant. Because again, when I used to do this stuff, I used to look after something for a charity called Disability Action. Back between 95 and 2000, 5 years, I was looking after their material, which we used to put up on the television, and I used to read it all and see where the lives they were leading. You know, so I was prepared for it. I was mentally prepared for all this, but it only prepares you for so far. You know, it only prepares you so far, and then, you know, the world turns away. You know. And there's been times when, like I said, Herb's been excluded. There was a computer studies course at his junior school, which we signed him up for. Oh no, it's been oversubscribed. It hadn't. It was rubbish, because we subscribed early. We got in early. We didn't. You know, I'm always the first one to sign up for these things. You know, and you know, teachers treated him differently, and And that's without the rotten Senko we had to deal with, you know, who this school didn't want anything to do with. I said, oh, is so-and-so going to be at the meetings? I went, no. And she lost all his files. All these files. We went to every meeting, except for that one that she didn't tell us about, because there was someone from outside the school attending, and it made us look like that we never turned up. Right? That was annoying. And I said to myself, I don't like this one. I don't like her. And I was right. And yeah, they lost all his files by the looks of it. So we had like 3 years of files missing on his report. So it was very sketchy. So that school didn't know exactly what they were dealing with, you know. Ah, dear. And then they report him because, you know, when it gets too noisy, he turned around and said, I'm going to kill you all. Shut up or I'll kill you all. He's blunt. So we get referred to CALMS, which is a mental health thing. And we sit in there, and I say to the woman, why is he here? He's autistic. He acts out, he says things. He says things when he's under stress, when they're too noisy. When the teacher loses control of the class, he tells them to shut up, because the teacher can't. Right? And he's here. Yet the kids who are throwing the chairs around and making all the noise, they're not sitting here, are they? He is, because he's been victimised for his disability. Oh, we got out of that meeting pretty damn quick, and the school, their arsehole was puckered up because that person put in a report about him. Oh yeah, you don't get on the wrong side of me. You don't get on the wrong side of me. You know, no way. Not when it comes to my son. Seriously. Anyway, I shouldn't have said all that. I might have to do this out. I went a bit too open then. Sorry. Rennie asked, did you think about beginning a new shop? Yeah, I thought about it. Can't afford it, so that's a no. Not around here. It's far too expensive. If I could find somewhere cheap and out of the way, I'd like to open a guitar shop, because I know guitars and stuff. I know stuff about guitars, so I'd like to open a guitar shop for my sins. But again, I can't really do it around here because the shops are so expensive. And yeah, that's it. I would be down 20 grand before I even open the doors, because the rents around here are about 15 grand, maybe another 5-7 grand on shop on business rates. So yeah, it can't be done around here, but somewhere, you know, out of the way, somewhere somewhere other than here, it's a possibility, but not here. Thanks for asking. Yeah, well, again, it's just a dream, isn't it, really? But it's what I know. I'd like to open something that I know. But, you know. And she says, I could open a record shop with all my phone. Me too, but I don't really want to do that. I'd like to open a guitar shop. Simon says, no apologies, Dan. Venting is good. So much for a new world of inclusivity. It's probably worse now than when you were told the governments are selling unity. Bullying's become worse. Bullying's become... Oh, what can I say? You open yourself up. Just coming on here, just talking like this opens you up to every fruitcake and loon that wants to destroy you. And again, it wasn't that long ago when I had, you know, the guy editing my videos to say defamatory statements and whatnot, and trying to present me as somebody I'm not. But hey, the YouTube legal department listened to me when I pointed out to them that they were publishing various defamations about me, and what are they going to do about it, or do I have to inform my solicitor? Their arsehole puckered up because you've got to use the right magic words for them to take notice of you, you know. And, you know, it's all fun, isn't it? Isn't it fun when all you do is sit here and talk about music and guitars or whatever, and because somebody doesn't like you, they target you. Oh, he's probably doing it this very moment. Shall we see how many thumbs down he's given me? Shall we see? I don't tend to care, but just to prove a point that, you know, the mentally ill are out there, and many of them are on the internet. Oh, here we go. Look at that. I've not checked it. This says 15 thumbs down. There you go. 15 thumbs down. Every week, without fail, he comes on and he does the same thing, I'd imagine. I don't even look anymore, mate. I don't even look. But thanks for being dedicated. I don't know if he wants to fuck me or kill me. He'll probably do one or the other, or maybe both. Hopefully he kills me first before he fucks me. I wouldn't want him fucking me before he kills me. That would be unpleasant. But also, I wouldn't let him do it. Because like I said, you come at me, you better fucking run fast, because I can run fast. Oh yeah. Anyway. And that's just doing this, just talking, because somebody out there doesn't like me. Oh, great, you don't like me. You spend your entire life doing this. Was it how many, 10 years, 12 years of doing this all the time? You're mental. You're absolutely mental. It makes no difference to my life. It's your time you're wasting. You know, but anyway, carry on. Make it 30. Make it 40, make it 50. Really do it, because engagement, you know, enragement is engagement. The more you do it, the better it is for the algorithm. You've in plum. Andrew says, so much better now, troll free. Really? Who knows? I don't know about that. Ronnie says, if you open a guitar shop, then I'll be at the opening. I'll have a zip of whiskey then. Okay then. Well, you know. Sometimes I do look at shops. I do look at shop units near seaside towns, because I'd like to move to retire. You know, open a guitar shop in a seaside town and just sit there all day. You know, playing music and drinking tea. You know, somebody comes in and buys a packet of guitar strings, but it's all paid off. We don't have to worry about selling anything. Do a lot of stuff by mail order. You know. That's what, you know, maybe have Herb with me, can help me box stuff up. That's the sort of thing, that's the sort of deal I'd like to aim for. But again, I don't have the means and the money to do that anymore. You know, so the shop was nice. The shop was fun when we had it, and I liked doing it. And it was nice to have something and do something, and, you know, have my mum there, and I had Jim there as well. He was helping out, and, you know, it was a family thing, and we wanted it to be a family thing, but it just got ruined because of one absolute arsehole who could still be in prison to this very day. Again, this person was known by the police. The woman he had with him, there were like 3 kids in the back of the car. Turns out that they were under police protection. Yeah, the police were shielding them. In the village, there was a special police safe house. I think enough time's gone for me to actually talk about this. But it turns out that in that village there was a house that was being rented out by the police, and when they needed people out of London, they hid them in that village. And the guy who was the renter, the leaseholder, the renter, whatever, the guy that owned it, was making a pretty penny. People questioned him about it. He went, "Yeah, they're paying me a fortune, an absolute fortune." And meanwhile, whilst we were struggling to find somewhere to live, that woman with her 3 kids didn't get them taken away, even though they were in the back of a car that flipped, that was travelling at, oh God, how many miles an hour? Was it 74 miles an hour when it hit us? And nearly exploded. Her 3 kids, they went to school. They went to school Monday morning. They never got taken into care, But we were homeless. We were homeless, So don't talk to me about 2-tier policing. Don't talk to me. I've been on it. I've been on the end of it. And again, those people were, what can I say? They weren't locals. The best way I can put it. But that's not the issue. They were bad people. And bad people come in all flavours, all colours, all creeds, don't they? But they were bad people and they were being protected by the police. And the fucker crashed into my shop and walked away with it, walked away. And then went on the run, and then they got him, and and then he did prison time for it. But I think there was also other things involved. I think he breached his bail. There was some murky stuff, and then he got arrested again in North London after he came out. This is when we was at, back in about 2011, wasn't it? 2012, I think it was. He got arrested again. So yeah, I mean, that's it. That's what happens. Bad things happen to good people, and you learn to carry on. And it's what goes on, isn't it? I don't talk about all of it. You're getting a bit more detail. You get a bit more detail than you ever had, because I think enough time has passed. A lot of time has passed. But my main enemy was the insurance companies, who really messed us around. You had them arguing over who should pay for our temporary accommodation at was it 7 o'clock in the morning the next day? They're like, "Oh, well, no. Well, you've got business insurance, but you also got home insurance. And, you've got protection for this." And you go, all I want is to know where I can stay, Crazy, man. Alex says, "Yeah, I live token record shop, but even in my crappy hometown, shops are closing down left, right and centre because rents are so high." Exactly, Alex. Again, in our parade, in Debden Parade, you've got the shops and you've also got flats above the shops. And the council, in its infinite wisdom, has decided to renovate the whole parade, both sides, at a cost of a million, nearly 2 million quid. And guess who's paying? Yeah, the leaseholders. And that includes the shops and the homeowners. And they reckon they're all getting a bill for 40 grand each. And we've already seen one shop close. We've seen shops put signs up saying, "We can't afford this." So that whole parade is going to close down. It's going to be empty. Our council, right, had McDonald's. They were about to ink a deal in Loughton High Road. McDonald's. We were going to get a McDonald's. The jobs for prospects for the young folk would have been amazing. They promised to keep the whole of the high street clean as a proviso taken on the lease. And in the 11th hour, our council decided to raise the rent. And McDonald's went, "Are you having a laugh?" and walked away from the table at the 11th hour. These people are not fit to run run whatever. Not fit to run anything. They're not fit because they're stupid. But anyway, so I've gone on far too much. Simon says, "What an incredible, unfortunate series of events." Stephen King penned this. You're talking to someone who, before he was born, the doctors had to push me back inside my mother because I was due to be kind of ejected early. I wasn't meant to be here, but the doctors pushed me back. That's what my mum said. Yeah, was it amniotic sac came out of her, and they had to push me back in. So I wasn't meant to be here. I've got a feeling, and life has conspired against me many times. There's been many times that life has conspired against me. So, I don't know. It's been interesting. It's been interesting to say anything. No? Renee says, guitar shop at the seaside. It sounds like a dream. You need dreams. Well, I don't know. It's more what can I do with myself. And you should always do what you know. And I know guitars. I know a lot about guitars now. I didn't, but now I do. And I, I can look at a guitar and get a feel for the value of it. So it's just you do what you know. Before that, it would have been a record shop, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. I want to do something a bit more interesting. Maybe I'd have some records in the guitar shop. Have a little box of records at the back. Maybe. I don't know. Renee says, "Whoops, 1:35 already." Thanks for the chat. You're welcome. Alex says, "Used to be a fella selling records on the market who said he didn't have a shop, and said I don't do shops and I'll never have a shop." But again, in the old days, you could have a market stall, couldn't you? You'd have market stalls, and again, when my neck of the woods, Walthamstow Market, biggest market in Europe, biggest open air market in Europe, you could have a very, very good life having a stall down the market, 6 days a week, selling whatever. And those days seem to have kind of gone. I imagine the price to do that, and the prices of having a market stall has gone up. But it was a cheap way of, like you said, being a salesman, isn't it? Alex says, as soon as the shop closes, turn it into a charity shop or student flats. Yeah, lots of charity shops. And, they're all subsidised. They all get subsidy, so because they're charity. And I think that's probably, what you've got to do. Anyway, God, is that time? I think I've better... I've talked too long. I'm ever so sorry. And I've probably been a bit too... I've said too much. And it always worries me when I say too much, Always worry about it. Maybe I said too much. Maybe that's the title. The one where I said too much. Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll do this all again soon. And that was it. Remember, folks, if you can't be good, be safe. But more importantly, don't tell your mother. Night night.